H.G. Tudor, and welcome to 10 Commandments for this one's wife. You understand the premise whereby I have conferred the power of commandment on my various guests, who now have the ability to compel this one's wife to do or to not do, and she has to comply. And the power of commandment has been given to my guest today, who is the Grumpy Sapper. Welcome, Grumpy Sapper.
Hello, HG. Good to see you again.
Likewise, thank you for coming on. And I have to say, you look delightfully seasonal there with shirt, hat, elf on the shelf, Christmas tree, and goodness me, are you warm enough there? Look at the snow.
Well, it's a bit chilly. I might have to open the door and let some hot air come in because it's 26 degrees outside at the moment.
Goodness me. Well, there we are. You need to ensure that you don't get to the chill, but we're going to issue some chill winds here, I'm fairly sure, because now you're going to be granted the power of commandment with regard to this one's wife. You're given the power to compel, to injunct, to improve, or to restrain. How shall you wield the power of commandment over this one's wife? Let us now find out. Grumpy Sapper, what is your first commandment for her?
My first one is, thou shalt not use Photoshop.
Well, okay, so the suggestion is that she regularly uses it then. That's your conclusion?
It's been seen on many... I need to turn my phone on silent. I do apologise. It's been seen on many terms and proven that two different photographs have been used to make a photograph. For example, the university pictures. It's quite clear that that's been photoshopped. So yeah, she's obviously got people in it. I mean, I don't think she's got the brains of an archbishop to actually do it herself. You got somebody else who's more skillful, or not so skillful.
Not so skillful, given that it's fairly obvious.
Yeah, I mean, stop it now. You know, there's no need to start trying to bullshit people. I mean, we're not that stupid.
So you're going to forbid her from utilizing Photoshop. Now, what about if she was to apply a filter to make her admittedly somewhat rough-looking skin look better? Is that prohibited?
No, but I don't think there's a filter that could do
that. Okay. I did say there's some chill winds blowing. Yeah, they're certainly already in there. So she's not allowed to Photoshop because you see her as having misled people in the past with this, and she's going to be prohibited from doing so. Okay, so out of the gates is a prohibition. What's the second commandment?
Thou shalt not return to the UK. She's burnt her bridges.
Okay. Do you think she might come back to the United Kingdom?
I think if she does, it'll be under a blanket. I don't think people would give her the light of day. I really don't. I think she's burnt so many bridges and caused so much anguish towards the royal family that I don't think it'll ever be accepted. For what she did to the Queen and Prince Philip. In their final days. It's blatant. She's lied. A lot of the and it leads me on to one of my next ones anyway. The way she treats the staff. It's all been documented. The way she is with people, and and she's totally fake. Everybody can see through it. Everybody can see through it. When they got married, even myself, I mean, I was welcoming. Yeah, fantastic. It doesn't matter of her background. It didn't matter whatsoever. Everybody accepted her. But oh no, it didn't go that way, did it?
No. You don't want her in the United Kingdom. What is it that has given you the gravest offence that causes you to issue this commandment?
The way she treated the Queen.
Yeah. Okay. So as a keen royalist,
very,
her behaviour was reprehensible, and for that, permanent exclusion. Now, certainly at the moment, that's probably a commandment that she'd go ahead with even if she wasn't complied, because the factive of her narcissism is such that it perceives Britain as a hostile place, that, you know, it's got a raging population of racist bigots with pitchforks and torches yelling, burn the witch, burn the witch. And then a colonial royal family that it also has a media that's against her. So she naturally would be fairly hesitant about coming back. That said, if there was something really good in it for her, or, you know, it was a place of last resort, she would still, that those things of the populace and the media and the royal family, they're not absolutes. They're pretty strong factors to keep her out, but they're not absolute. So there's a chance that she could come back if her narcissism deemed it lucrative enough for her or beneficial enough for her. But you're giving an absolute bar.
Yeah, I mean, she is so thick-skinned that if there's $1 in it, she'll be on a plane over. You know, it's if there's a chance that she's going to make money or she's going to be put into the limelight, you wouldn't see her ask for dust. She'd be over here, over to UK straight away.
Yeah. Okay. So she's barred from returning to the UK. So a second prohibitive commandment for her. What's number 3, please, Grumpy Sapper?
Thou shalt not write a book.
What's your thinking behind that?
Because you know full well that it's going to be a pack of lies. You know, okay, I'm going to step back a little bit and just say, yeah, okay, go ahead and write a book, but tell the truth. Tell the truth, not your truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
But I think if she was to do that, I think it'll have 5 or 6 pages.
So she's not. You don't want her writing a book because you just anticipate that it's going to be a complete pack of lies. What do you think? Thinking for a moment, if she were to sit down and write, we know that she fed so much to the improbably named plastic lieutenant Omid Scobie. We know that she fed material to the ghostwriter Muringer in relation to Spare. So what do you think, although that was done through the auspices of it apparently being somebody else, if she were to write in her own name, what do you think we'd be treated to?
I think she will dwell on the way I was treated in Buckingham Palace, the way I was treated. It made me feel inferior. Nah, bollocks. Sorry. You can't start writing all that. You know, we all know that she's a total narcissist. Yeah. She controls, she's got people's testicles in her hand. And, you know, not first time either. So it's, that's the way she controls. That's the way she controls. You know, she will always turn it back on her about, oh, me.
Do you think it would be more, look at me, I'm brilliant, I've done all these great things, or it really would go down the line of, I've been picked on, I've been abused, these people are awful?
I think it's going to be a mixture of both. Absolutely, a mixture of both.
It'd be a complete work of fantasy.
God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tolkien will have a field day with that one.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that she's got up her sleeve, both in terms of there'd certainly be an audience for it, both a small rump of an audience that would want to read that because they actually like her, and then the rest be what utter fetid bullshit is she going to come out with here? And I think it would fall to the glorious narrator to take one for the team to go through it, although I'd have to paraphrase, no doubt, because her lawyers would be lurking if I was to go through it line by line and read it out.
Well, I think the only way that she's going to make a book possibly the size of War and Peace is if she had dot-to-dot or colouring pages. That's the only way that's going to be interesting to anybody.
Well, she is quite verbose, though, and prolix and when she talks, because you just get this insufferable word salad. And it would be just resplendent with a revision of history and pointing out that, you know, she's been done dirty to. It'd be interesting to see just how many pot shots she would take at the Queen as well.
Absolutely. You just know it's going to happen. If she writes that book, you know it's going to be a blame game. The
only thing that suggests that she might not do is that it actually takes effort to write a book.
In crayon.
I mean, with Harry, of course, he sat down and spoke to a ghostwriter who did the spade work. But with
Yeah.
her, I can't even see her being asked to sit down and talk to somebody about it because she is so inherently lazy. She just
Yeah.
wants to say, "This is my book," and then expect to be paid for it. And as you say, you open it and you're treated to some colouring in pictures of her and one beige crayon that comes complimentary with the book. But she's not going to write it because the Grumpy Sapper says no. So we're a third of the way in. What's number 4, please?
Thou shalt treat staff and people with respect.
Okay. Can you expand on that for me?
That goes back to where the people who have been employed by her. It's a 5-minute turnaround. They go in, get the job, and then next minute they're fired. There's no. It's a magical turning door. It's a go in one way, come out the other.
Yeah.
But with their NDAs that they've obviously been forced to sign, they can't disclose it. But come on, it's quite obvious. It comes back down to the way that they've been treated.
Yeah. She demeans people. She utilizes her status and title to look down on people and order them around. So she's going to be told, you now have to. So we have our first one, which is prescriptive with regard to actually commission, so that she has to behave in a way that treats staff and people with respect. And as you know, she has to comply with that. So is that driven more out of you don't like the fact that she's bullied people and been nasty to them? Or do you think, well, I'd like you to redeem yourself?
I think it's a case of, stop it now. Stop. You can't go around. Who do you think you are to treat people in that manner?
Yeah.
It's not acceptable. You came into this world the same way as everybody else came into this world. What gives you the God-given right to treat people like shit?
Indeed, a fair question of her, and naturally her narcissism tells her, I'm not being nasty to them, I'm just being direct. Or, well, some people have to be talked to in that way, otherwise they won't behave themselves.
It's certainly not leadership.
Justify it. Yeah, but here she is tethered and she is forced to treat people and staff with respect moving forward.
Yeah.
What's number 5, please?
Number 5, thou shalt be accepting of oneself. You are from a black heritage and you must embrace it and accept it.
Now, this is interesting. So as I see, thou shalt be accepting of oneself, I thought that opens up so many doors as to what is she. But you've honed it down more to...
Don't forget, she's got a bit of Nigerian in her.
Apparently, 43%, as we've been repeatedly told, alongside the Maltese and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But you're focusing on the fact that she's of black heritage and she must embrace it. So how do you see her having to embrace it?
If you've got afro hair, then accept it. You've got afro hair. If you've got the black, pigmentation in the skin, then accept it. Be who you're going to be. Don't start making out that you're a white person and then using it out to be a black person or black heritage. On the other, it's all about advantage. Stop it. Accept who you are.
Given that she has a black mother and a white father, and therefore she is deemed to be a person of color, biracial, as some people might say. There are other terms that might be used, but I think these days we're not allowed to say them. That you, playing devil's advocate, could she not argue, well, I can be white on some occasions and I can be black on others because I'm both?
Yeah, of course. But she makes it, uses it to her advantage all the time.
Yeah. So you're saying to her that you can't cover up your blackness when it suits you?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. And do you think that hitherto she's genuinely embraced the blackness of her ethnicity?
For fame.
For fame, yeah.
For notoriety. That's what she's doing it for, trust me. That's what she's doing it for.
We all know that hitherto she has held herself out as Caucasian. That was what was on her CV. That to look at her, at a stretch, you might say there's perhaps some Latina in there. She's Latina, or that she's possibly Mediterranean, which is what I thought when I first saw her. And that we learned, of course, that that her mother's black. Do you think that she chose to be Caucasian because she recognized that racism was a thing, that she was disadvantaged by acknowledging being black, and it was easier to be white?
Correct. This is what she's pushing on all the time. And in this day and age, I don't give a shit who you are, what color skin you are, and not a lot of people do anymore. If you're a black person, then you're a black person. I don't care. Well, they care, But obviously, it's all about I'll be a white person today, so I can get advantage over this. And stop it now.
So basically, stop using your race as a means to getting an advantage. Correct. Which presumably also means don't play the race card either.
Correct. I was just about to say that. About to say that.
Okay, so it's basically you're not allowed to weaponize your race. You've got to be. You're always talking about being authentic. Well, here's your opportunity to be authentic in relation to race. Okay, so we're halfway through Grumpy Sapper. Let's move on to number 6.
Thou shalt not cook or profess to be good at cooking. Now, I don't know if she can cook, but I guarantee I'll put 100 quid on it now that she fucking can't boil an egg.
It's said that she's pinched the recipes off ex-boyfriend Corey Vitello. We have seen that marvelous video where she's showing people how to make that very complicated cuisine, toast. And I suspect that she isn't a good cook at all. There is the tale of Australia where she had people up all night baking banana bread on her behalf until she selected the one that she wanted. And I should imagine that quite regularly Harry is zipping off to In-N-Out Burger for something to eat, and that either she delegates to a cook, and she's most definitely the type of person that if she was in the UK, she'd pop along to M&S or Waitrose, get a load of their ready meals, or hire a caterer and then pass it off as her own concoction. There's no doubt about that. I agree with you. Yeah. I don't think she's a good cook at all. I think her narcissism is such that with everything it's about shortcuts. Some narcissists will apply themselves because they actually have a genuine talent and their narcissism causes them to strive. But with her, it's all about the easy route, the shortcut. And in such circumstances, it's, I've got a series on Spotify to do lots of interviews, but I'll get a researcher to do most of the interviews and I'll just come in and do bits here and there. Shortcut. I'm a royal. Actually, no, it's too much like hard work, so I'm going to duck out after 72 days. Shortcut.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm not being paid for this walkabout here. Shortcut again. She expects American Riviera Orchard, that clusterfuck. She just expects that, I've created something in as a concept. Somebody will come along and pay me millions of dollars because it's associated with me. Shortcut. So I think again with the cooking, she can't be bothered to either learn or even do it because it takes time with the prep and the throwing everything together. So I agree with you. I don't think that she is a good cook. So when you say thou shalt not cook, it's not allowed in the kitchen in that respect.
Well, it includes jam as well, because obviously that's flying off the shelves.
Yeah, well, the jam, everybody recognizes she didn't make that, and that she's obviously popped to Walmart and bought somebody else's, spooned it into those jars and put a shitty label on them.
That keeps peeling off.
But it's more really, isn't it, about, as you've identified, profess to be good at cooking. It's this showing off and I'm a foodie and so forth. And
absolutely.
Well, we'll see next year if it comes out.
Yeah. I think she'd probably be good on something. Must be good at something. Maybe on a yacht or something. I don't know.
Well, she's good at the old spicy poontang, but not cooking. So
Yeah.
even though you might say thou shalt not cook, it might be a case of she can't anyway. So that might somewhat be redundant. But you've scooped it up by saying you can't profess to be good at cooking. So
No.
that lie is going to be cut off at
Yeah.
the pass. All right. Let's move on to number 7.
Okay then. Sorry, beg your pardon. Thou shalt not use a microphone and take center stage.
Now that's a killer for a narcissist like her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's really going to cause a problem for her in terms of not allowing her to speak. I can't imagine that she would attempt to stand there and use her voice, because it's not a particularly powerful one for public speaking. And moreover, the microphone is symbolic, because it's to say, because I'm holding this, you must all look at me. I am the center of attention.
It's like the drunk at a karaoke competition, isn't it? You know, it's give me the microphone, that's it, I'll be singing all night now. No, stop it.
Yeah, stop. You have to prise it from my cold, dead hands. Yeah, do you think she would do karaoke? Just as an aside.
No, I don't think she's got the skills.
Oh, but I think she would do. I think she'd go for it. I think she thinks she's a marvelous singer. I don't think she's a terrible singer. I watched a video when she was younger, and she was playing Little Red Riding Hood, and she you'd say, yeah, it was passable in terms of singing. So there are clearly people that were, but she would love. I can imagine that she will have at one point been stood with the old hairbrush in her bedroom, belting out the hits, and she'll have gone along to local karaoke evenings, having done herself up to the nines, and sung and sung and sung, expecting Simon Cowell to walk in and sign her up. Because she will have an exaggerated concept of her singing ability.
Absolutely. The people that she's mixing, rubbing shoulders with in Hollywood, in California, in places like that, there's going to be singers that she's going to be leaning on and saying, "Oh, can you make me sing properly?" I just know it. You just know it's going to come from a narcissist like that.
Yeah, she'd probably been sidling up to Katy Perry and saying, "You must be able to get me in. Surely you can. Maybe can we not do a duet together?" And Katy Perry's thinking, "Over my dead body would I be singing?"
That's probably why Victoria Beckham doesn't speak to her.
Yeah, absolutely. Mind you, that would. Victoria Beckham was recruited to what was not recruited to the Spice Girls for a voice, was she? I seem to remember that when you watched the video, the camera didn't go to her all that often because she wasn't singing that often. I think they relied on. They relied on. I think on Mel B, and Emma Bunton to do the
correct. That's right. They did.
Yeah, to carry the do the heavy lifting on the singing front there. Yeah. So no microphone for her, but also she can't take center stage.
Yeah, I mean, there comes a point where, okay, if you're the presenter, then you're going to have center stage. If you're going to be the one who's going to be interviewed, then you will have center stage. But to jump on and just grab the mic and just keep talking, everybody in the audience is going, oh.
What about the suggestion that you'd want her to carry on talking because she always makes such a fool of herself?
Well, there is that point to it as well. There is that side to it. But to be honest with you, I'd rather watch paint dry. I've got to be honest with you. I'd rather watch paint dry to listen to that drone on.
I wouldn't want to listen to it. It is not only the voice with the vocal fry and it just so dripping with insincerity, but she thinks she's being so sincere, and she's so patronizing when she talks, and she's of course it's all about her. I frequently talk about how she has the ability to send a glass eye to sleep. She is an appalling public speaker. And I remember when she did that god-awful Bridgewater Hall speech in September 2022 in Manchester, and where she would pause expecting people to laugh, and they didn't, because she has no comprehension of humor, has she? She's atrocious.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
Indeed. So we're going to shut her up, which many people will be saying, fantastic. So that'll go down well with many people. Let's have commandment number 8, please, Grumpy Sapper.
Thou shalt not dress as a mother-in-law. because and wish to be like her, because it's not going to happen.
Okay, so no Diana cosplay.
No.
Cut that out. No perfume, no dressing up as her.
She thinks that people don't recognize it, but come on, the green dress, come on, that was iconic with Diana, you know, and the jeans and the white blouse. Oh, come on, you know, there was so many. I mean, they're just two examples that I can give straight away, but there's so many other examples that I'm thinking Harry and William are giving it. I look like my mum.
Yeah.
Not.
What offends you about her doing that?
I wouldn't say offends me, but you know, she's got visions of grandeur. She really has. You know, she thinks that, you know, I can go out and dress like this, and this will make people like me. No, it makes people hate you even more.
Is it more about you're finding her behavior just generally offensive as opposed to being defending Diana?
Yeah, because it's totally fake.
Yeah.
It's totally fake.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she thinks that the public is stupid, and they won't pick up on it.
Why do you think she does it?
For attention. Look at me.
Yeah.
It's like when she came out of that cafe or restaurant, you know, wearing the jeans and the white blouse and the shoes. Yeah. Mirror image, apart from the shoulders upwards.
Do you think there's any nefarious attempt to control Harry by replicating his mum?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
He undoubtedly got.
Yeah, but I can't see him saying, "Oh, I think you should dress like my mum." Nobody in the right mind would say that.
Yeah, he is a bit fucked up though, isn't he? So you never know. He might get his cheapies from it.
Rock him to sleep at night. Hello, mama.
Yeah, suckle on her breast. Oh, what a hideous image. Okay, well, whilst the audience are barfing into their chuck buckets, let's get on to number 9.
Thou shalt apologise for the lies that she's been exposed for.
Well, that's going to take a long time.
Absolutely, is all. But let's not get Netflix involved, because they wouldn't give her a contract to do that.
No.
But I think, you know, she should publicly apologise.
What would you say are some of her whoppers?
There's so many, isn't there, to choose from? Mm-hmm. So many. I mean, I think there's the surrogacy again. Surrogacy is, you know, it's one of those things. You know, I don't think she gave birth, but that leads me on to my next question. There's so many lies that have been told, like on Oprah Winfrey. You know, she's done that, and was it 17 lies were exposed from that?
Something like that. Yeah.
That one screening.
Yeah.
It's all about them, you know. And obviously Harry's not without blame, but she's milking it. She thinks that if people are going to lie, if she can lie, you know, people are going to believe her. Well, hello, we don't.
Now, there's an interesting aspect to your commandment here, where if she had a 10 Commandments lawyer, they'd jump all over this, because you've suggested thou shalt apologize for the lies she has been exposed for. So it's only the ones that she's been exposed in relation to.
Well, I'm sure there's others as well. I'm sure there is. There has
to be. Is the nature of this apology that you or you want her to demonstrate contrition?
I didn't get that last one. Sorry.
Okay. Is it the case that you want to expose her for the lies that she's told, or is it more about her exhibiting contrition?
It's about the lies that she's been exposed for. You know, it was proven. You know, that she lied on Oprah. It's been other times where it's like the car chase in New York.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows it's just bollocks.
Yeah.
So sorry, but
so she has to stand there in a public place and say, "I'm sorry I said it was a near catastrophic car chase when it clearly wasn't. I'm sorry I claimed that I was bullied by Catherine because I actually bullied her. I apologise for lying and saying that I strenuously deny bullying the Buckingham Palace, the Kensington Palace staff, because I actually did bully them, and so on and so forth. So mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
well,
it's
that
not
would
going to happen.
Well, it will, because you're compelling her to do it. So she has
Yeah.
no choice but to go along with it. Hence, that's why it's
Yeah.
such a fruity commandment, and one
Yeah.
that I could imagine brings quite a degree of satisfaction to many people to know that she's not only going to be exposed for all of those lies, so everybody knows that she's lied, but then she has to show some contrition for it. Okay.
Correct.
You foreshadowed it slightly, but Commandment 10, our final one, Grumpy Sapper, is...
Thou shalt tell the truth about the surrogate birth.
Okay, so that evidently you're nailing your colours to the mast to suggest that you think that she's used a surrogate.
Yes.
Both births?
Yes. I think so. Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
Okay.
I don't
Why did you reach that conclusion?
Because there was talk or proof that she had been given a hysterectomy previously, which again wouldn't allow her to be pregnant. And there's, I mean, like I said with Photoshop, and it's quite clearly a fake bump that she's had. The bump moves. Yeah, it's like a little boy under a blanket. You can see it moving. So, yeah.
So there
has to be. Sorry, there has to be.
Now, other than the fact that she's lied, why does it matter that she has to tell everybody that she used a surrogate? Because
it is deception. Because obviously with the royal line, the baby has to be born by normal birth, by her, not by a surrogate. Yeah.
So she has to come clean and say, this is what happened. I gave birth by surrogacy. Yeah. And therefore, another of her lies is met with the exposing light of day.
Yeah.
Now, overall, the majority of your commandments are prohibiting her from doing things. So you want to tether her and restrain her.
Yeah.
Do you see it by way of punishment, or do you think, I'm just sick to the back teeth of her, I need to sort of cut her down to size?
I don't want to see her being punished. I'm just sick to the back teeth of her. I really am. I can't even watch her on TV. I can't even listen to her voice. It just grates across me like a cheese grater across your kneecaps.
A delightful image, Grumpy. And what is it that gets under your skin most about her? If there was one thing you put your finger on.
The way she manipulates. The way she when she did that trip to Colombia, I just put my head in my hands and thought, I give up. Yeah. These people are, just out there just about their image.
Okay. Well, there we have Grumpy Sapper's 10 commandments for this one's wife. Valuable viewers, what do you think of these commandments? Do they accord with what you want as Grumpy scratch the itch as he hit the spot? Or would you want more? Well, you can let both of us know in the comments section. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you, Grumpy Sapper, for your 10 commandments.
You're very welcome, and I wish you a very, very happy Christmas and a joyous New Year. It's got to be better than this shit show we've had this year.
Well, you are aptly named. It has to be said. Well, I will wish you a non-grumpy Yule, and for you to have a holly jolly Christmas. And that just remains for me to say to the valuable viewers, thank you for listening.
Thank you.